And welcome everybody to University of Tampa baseball, the second game of the doubleheader against the Palm Beach Atlantic Sailfish, as the Spartans will see if they can sweep this three-game weekend series at home. Hi everybody, Jack Ike, along with Taylor Stolworthy, and we've seen the Spartans pick up a couple wins where they've scored 12 runs in each game, a 12-3 win on Friday, a 12-0 shutout about 45 minutes ago, and the Spartans will go for the three-game sweep today. Spartans are now 8-0 in conference play, 21-4 overall, leading the Sunshine State Conference, as a 12-0 win with B.J. Bailey getting the win, and he, as we've said a couple times, is 1B plus in the pitching rotation for the Tampa Spartans, and we'll see how they do in the third game of this one.
Yeah, John-Luke Clanton's been pretty solid for the Spartans. He's been a couple of steps behind Satin and Bailey, but he's coming off of a really solid outing. He's gone 30 innings this season, over 7 games, a 5-1 record, 4.15 ERA. Now, the good news is Tampa's been able to rest the bullpen somewhat today, but they would like Clanton to at least give him about 4 or 5 innings. We heard from earlier, Coach Urso is probably going to bring Moran out of the bullpen. He could be a multi-inning guy, so if Clanton can really go deep, you could potentially just see Clanton starting and Moran finishing.
They have silenced the Sailfish bats so far in this series, and the first game today was in the balance for a while. The Spartans took a 2-0 lead in the second, then had back-to-back homers in the third for a 4-0 lead, but it was 5-0 until about the sixth inning, when they poured it on and ended up with the 12-0 win. So now the Sailfish will see if they have any answers for the Spartans in this game. On the mound, as you said, John-Luke Clanton, and first batter will be Carter Parent. First pitch. Swing and a miss. And he's ahead 0-2. And he goes way after that one and goes down on 3 pitches. And we're off to a good start in the second game of the nightcap here.
Disappointing first at bat there for Parent. He's been a bit quiet today after that leadoff single against Bailey, but he has been somewhat productive at the top of the order, so definitely not a bad outcome so far today for him being in the lineup.
Pitch inside.
How do I get this score?
I got it.
McNamara, the shortstop, looks at one, just missing.
Drag and drop, okay.
2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, this is the start of the broadcast. Drag it over, click the overlay, and you should be good to go.
Clanton fires.
Yep.
Just missing a little bit inside. Clanton, 11 walks, 25 strikeouts, a little better than a 2-to-1 ratio, strikeouts to walks. That one's fouled off. 3-1. Swing and a miss. And they had 3-1 on there, but it was 3-2, and he goes down. No, now he's coming back. Okay. He thought he struck out. Son, you want one more? We'll give you one more.
One of those cases of the batter losing track of the count.
Yeah. I thought it said 3-1, but I believe the batter. Now the 3-2. Right back to the pitcher. No, gets past the pitcher, picking it up quickly, and the throw is wild. And now they're going to tag the runner. Will they get the out? They do get the out. As McNamara, that's the rule where if you make a move towards second, like turn, even just a quick turn towards second, they consider that an attempt to go to the bag. If you just run down the line and don't look back or turn to the right in foul territory, you're fine. But because he made a little gesture towards second base, they went and tagged him before he got back to the bag and called him out.
That's where kind of that wild throw actually benefited the Spartans. It wasn't a good
he was
throw
gonna
from
beat it out.
Fiker, but it took a really good bounce to allow it to be picked up pretty easily there by Carlson and Irigoyen, who actually did go to, and by Pereira, who went to cover first base pretty well.
Defensively for the Spartans, Glanton is on the mound. Pereira is behind the plate. Gunnett Carlson is at first. Braden Woodburn is at second. Luke Fiker is at third, and he just picked up the grounder there and throws him out to end the inning. Javi Soto, Jordan Evans, Jake Books are in left, center, and right. And Jack Martinez is the shortstop. That's the end of the top of the first. It goes away quickly, and we will head to the bottom of the first. No score. Tampa coming to bat on TampaSpartans.tv. Bottom of the first we go. On the mound for Palm Beach Atlantic will be Derek Langfelter, senior pitcher, coming in. Has an 0-1 record on the season. Righty.
Langfelder has been good in limited appearances, notably in 7 2/3, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks.
There you go. That's what they want and will probably need in this game, is somebody who can not give up free base runners. Make them hit it. Again, as in game one, not a cloud in the sky. Though if you see behind home plate, the grandstand shadows are going to be closing in on home plate and eventually will extend from the plate to the mound.
That's actually, I think, what had gotten in the way early on in the day on Friday. Shadows kind of reaching forward.
Yep.
And I think it rattled the infield just a little for the Sailfish on 1 or 2 fly balls.
First pitch popped straight up. Shortstop McNamara calling for it and makes the catch. That may be kind of routine, but without clouds, it really takes away any depth perception. I mean, fortunately, that one was almost straight up and straight down. So 1 pitch, 1 strikeout. Brings up Braden Woodburn, who had a solo home run in the first game. Looks at one just a little bit high inside. Adam Benhart is behind the plate for this game. Ivan Mercado is on the bases, so they flip-flop where they were in the first game of the series. First game of the day, I should say.
And they're back to where they were for the first game of the series.
Okay.
Because sometimes they'll change up the Friday, Saturday umpires,
not
but
often you see the same all weekend.
yeah, they've kept these two today.
I'm assuming it's the Sunshine State Conference that schedules the umpires as opposed to the home team has to go looking for umps.
They might have 2 for their out-of-conference games.
Yes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tampa comes in 21-4. Palm Beach Atlantic is 7-14. Tampa now 8-0 in conference play. And a quick strikeout, and Woodburn will walk back to the dugout. We'll bring Gunnett Carlson, who's playing first base in this game. Defensively for the Sailfish, Langfelter is on the mound. Giancarlo Chantrez is behind the plate. Alex Jacobs is at first base. Isaiah Malik is at second. Santi Shield is at third. Jake McNamara is shortstop. In the outfield, it's Patrick Rakes, Carter Parent, and Finley Holmes. Ground ball heading out toward first. Fielded, toss over. Inning is over. Quick inning for both teams to start this game. We have played one quick inning. No score. Tampa, Palm Beach Atlantic. We'll be back on TampaSpartans.tv. Top of the second inning we go. John Luke Glanton back on the mound for Tampa. Gave up a hit, picked up a strikeout in that first inning.
So the no-hitter went up in smoke, but he's faced the minimum.
That's true. Just like in the first game, the no-hitter went away on the very first pitch. But that was about the only hit they got till about the sixth inning.
Yeah, Bailey had 17 more outs, or 18 outs, and just one more hit allowed in that span.
Yep. First pitch to Ian Pennington is a ball. There was and you know I'm the king of insignificant trivia. There was a Milwaukee Braves pitcher who gave up a base hit and then recorded 27 straight outs.
I remember also a story, because I've also learned a bit of trivia. My brother gave me a Yankees trivia book this Christmas that I've been reading up on. Although this one I learned not from that book, but from previous experiences.
Okay.
That Babe Ruth got ejected on the first pitch of a game on the mound after hitting a batter, and the man who came in relief then threw a perfect game afterwards.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice fielding by Glanton. Throws him out. So I got to imagine that goes down as a perfect game. No hitter.
Nope, just a no-hitter.
No-hitter.
Yep. That's the thing. It's like you can't have a combined perfect game. It just becomes a no-hitter if the starter leaves, I believe.
Patrick Rakes to the plate. In the middle of the order, they go lefty, lefty, lefty. Surrounding it with righties, the top three and the bottom three. Ball outside. Now you can see the shadow is touching the dirt behind home plate. Ground ball, foul. We bring this up, if you stick with us throughout the season, it'll become more prevalent, especially on the night games like last night. Well, because the sun is working its way north, the shadows right now are kind of diagonaling toward the left field line. As the sun works its way north, the shadows will kind of be from right behind home plate towards center field, and it really causes troubles with fielders and the pitcher up the middle. So much so that we'll point it out as the season goes, but sometimes the catcher will throw it back to the pitcher, and he'll just duck because he can't see it.
Now, Alex Caney got affected by the shadows one time during one of his outings in his very solid junior campaign before his Ole Miss transfer. Tipped that one into the glove. And it gave him, it tipped off of Pereira, who's reeling a little.
Might have hit him in the thigh there.
I'm glad it wasn't the hand, because that's where I believe he had picked up at a preseason injury that sidelined him. It's good to see Pereira getting more reps at the catcher position, back from injury. I'd asked Jordan Evans 2 weekends ago who he was excited to see get to work. He said Nick Pereira. I checked in with Coach Urso after a successful start from Pereira, and he said, Pereira's someone that's going to be important for Tampa down the stretch.
Nice. There's a walk, though, by Glanton. They had the shift on. They had third baseman Fiker playing over on the second base side, or the first base side of second base. We haven't seen that much. It's illegal in the majors to do that. You have to have two players on each side of second base. That ruling has not come down into college ball. First pitch to Jacobs is a strike. Second pitch, ground ball, hits the umpire. And nice play at first base by Carlson. That one hit the umpire. Now, is he calling them both safe? I don't think so.
He's calling the lead runner out, it looks like, because of it hitting off the umpire.
Oh, okay.
So it'll probably be the runner
at second is out?
That's what I'm guessing is going to be the ruling. Runner at second's out, runner at first to be safe.
Runner
but they're
at
both staying
has not
put.
Left. That should not be a dead ball, I don't think.
Not at all.
It hit the umpire in the back, fielded by Martinez at short. He threw the runner out, but then the umpire, I thought he made a ruling pointing to both bases like you're both safe. And there's a base hit, and that may be a tough predicament. They're going to hold the runners up, so we're going to have the bases loaded with one out. So apparently that's a dead ball, and everybody's safe.
Good job by Shield, who immediately capitalized with a first pitch single after the chaos, but definitely not a fan of that ruling here because that was a really good play after the awkward deflection by Martinez at short to then get the out at first, barehanded grab and throw with a very little time to work with.
I will dial up our intern between innings, see if he can check on that ruling. There's a base hit. That'll bring in two, maybe more. Palm Beach Atlantic taking its first lead of the weekend. They're sending two in. There may be a play at the plate. Here comes the throw. He's going to beat it 2-0. Sailfish take the lead. So a very fortuitous bounce off an umpire. Instead of having a man on second or maybe just first with two outs, they ended up with two men on and one out. And then the next batter singled to load the bases, and now a two-run double.
Call that three-run
double.
Batted in by Mercado, if you will, the umpire.
Yeah. Swing and a miss, strike one. So it's 3-0 Palm Beach. Oh, that one hits the batter. No, they're saying it hit the bat.
Or that he went further around.
Mm-hmm. We're having an interesting second inning here.
And one thing I'll say is that I'm on the side of the batter because he wasn't fully swingy, kind of checked up, but
yeah.
I think it was that action of checking up. The umpire says he leaned into the bat, so that will be strike two. By the way, Malik's a two-way man. He's usually on the mound, but also plays a bit of second base. Or he's listed as a pitcher, although exclusively a second baseman this season.
So he stays at the plate. He's now behind 0-2, man on second. That looked pretty good. Strike 3, call. Malik knew it. Doesn't look happy about getting called out. 2 outs now. But Palm Beach Atlantic with its first lead of the weekend. And we pointed this out a number of times. We do every game. You pretty much need to score 11 to beat Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's good to get a 3-0 lead against Tampa, but if you remember what happened against Davenport on the first game last Saturday, they had 17 unanswered after they scored in a similar way. A well-placed timely hit to bring the first run against Bailey, then a 2-run shot against Bailey.
Ground ball, Martinez, double clutches. Nice scoop by Carlson to end the inning. They do score 3 on 4 hits. On 3 hits, I should say. 3 runs, 3 hits. They leave 1. We played an inning and a half. It's Palm Beach Atlantic 3, Tampa nothing. We'll be right back. Bottom of the second we go, 3-0, Palm Beach Atlantic up, and we do have confirmation. It says whenever umpire interference is called on a base umpire, the batter gets credit for a base hit. So even if the fielder is able to get the ball and throw him out, it's a base hit. So runners would be at first and second, as was happened. So, Derek Langfelder is the first Palm Beach Atlantic pitcher to be staked to a lead. His first batter will be Yoander Irigoyen, the DH in this game, as Pereira is behind the plate. Strike on the corner. Nice curveball, strike 2.
He's got a nice, kind of sweeper slurve that he's thrown, or maybe like a sweeping curve that just has a lot of break to it.
Yeah. He brought that from the inside corner over the plate. Goes fastball high.
It's that curve that he froze Woodburn with back in the first. And it's a good job to set up the fastball with it, but Irigoyen wasn't born yesterday. He's not going to immediately go for a big whiff on that 2-strike fastball.
Another fastball just missing. Tried to frame it. Did not get the call. 2-2 now. Langfelder winds and fires. Outside, he now has worked at full.
Great.
You know, Langfelder is almost a dying breed out there. He's in a windup with nobody on base. Dying breed in college ball, anyway. And he walked him. Leadoff walk.
It's definitely still pretty prevalent at the pro level, but the idea of pitchers going full out of the stretch the entire time makes a lot of sense because if you go out of the stretch only with runners on base, you're probably going to have weaker command because mechanics are always so important. And I think a great example of that is Roki Sasaki. I mean, his fastball velocity went from 100 in NPB down to 93 in the majors in the United States because he had tweaked his mechanics a bit. And it took him reworking those mechanics to get back to his higher averages of 97 to 98 with that fastball. Your arsenal moves in a completely different way based on how you throw, so good to keep things simple.
Got one. Relay, and he's safe. Got one at first. Scooting down to second was Irigoyen, and he's safe there. But you're right, if you throw out of the stretch the whole time, that's the only motion you have to learn to pitch your best at. If you go out of the windup a third of the time, 2/3 of the time, whatever, half the time, then you've got to change it when you have a man on base and two different mechanics. And that's the theory behind all that. Now one out, man on second. Kind of a half swing by Javi Soto.
Helps that Langfelder kind of has a quick turn with that leg kick as well. He's not wasting too much time out of the motion. He was doing the same without runners on.
In the dirt.
By the way, Langfelder's favorite player is Walker Buehler. And he's also a Yankees fan, so I think kind of conflicting feelings about that 2024 World Series. His team losing, but his favorite player closed the door.
1-1, ground ball, third base. They chase the runner back to second. The throw across, now heading to third and in safely. Got the runner at first, but that gave Irigoyen time, even though they chased him back, time to get to third. So now he's 90 feet away with 2 outs.
I like that from Irigoyen. He didn't give a lot of hustle on the previous play, which I was a little bit, don't know, where maybe confused or interested about, where on that ground ball to first, he didn't have a huge hustle to second, but I really like him immediately following that up with a heads-up play on the base path to reach third safely.
Nick Pereira to the plate now, the catcher. Got in as a replacement in the first game, swings and misses here.
It's kind of tough for Pereira because, he's still in that warm-up stretch of the season. He hasn't been able to play up until recently, where he had mainly pinch hit appearances. This is his second start.
It's kind of funny as you progress in your baseball career. If you are 25 games into your high school career, your season may be close to finishing soon. You're 25 games into your college season, you're about halfway through the season. If you're 25 games into the major league season, you're about an eighth of the way through.
Yeah, and for the minor leagues, about 25, it's about a
similar
2/5 to a quarter,
yeah,
or quarter to a third or so.
I think they play, about 140 games?
80 to 120, around there.
Okay.
So 1/5, I'd say.
Just missing inside.
NPB is 1/7. They play about 140.
Okay. Strike call. Pereira just about ready to toss the bat to the dugout to take the walk, but it's now 3-1. Three and two. The pitch. That's hit out into left field, going back near the wall, and it's going to let it bounce off the wall. That'll bring Irigoyen in, cruising into second, and sliding in with a double is Pereira. I wasn't going to say it, Taylor, but leadoff walk scored.
First time you're able to say it all season.
Yeah. I only bring it up when it happens.
Exactly. About 33% of the time.
Yeah. Except,
you can bring it up.
Yeah. Coaches tell you leadoff walks score almost 100% of the time, and in reality, they don't score any more than any other way to get on base. Jack Martinez to the plate, now a 3-1 game, and a base hit here could cut it to 3-2. Martinez, 316 batting average, 38 at-bats. He's got 12 hits, so he's been productive. 5 RBI. Swing and a foul back.
It's Hillsborough Community College combo at the bottom of the Spartans order. You got Martinez and Fikar. They both transferred out of HCC to Tampa last season. I've got to ask them if it was a package deal or just a coincidence that they both ended up with the Spartans.
Chasing him back. Hillsborough Community College, the main campus anyway, is across the street from Raymond James Stadium. Not sure where they play baseball. The Yankees complex is stone's throw away from them. Ball high. 1-1.
My guess would probably be the Yankees complex, not the Steinbrenner
Field.
Field.
Fields, yeah.
Yeah, not the big stadium where they host the Tarpons and last year the Tampa Bay Rays, but probably the one across the street from it,
which is a nice field in its own right.
Definitely.
Off speed, swing and a miss, and it's strike 3. Everybody just kind of hesitated there, and now they walk off the field. Spartans do get a run, cut the lead down from 3-0 to 3-1. We'll head to the third. It's 3-1. Palm Beach Atlantic on top of Tampa on TampaSpartans.tv. Her friends, we're her world, that's fine. Bottom of the third inning we go. Now a 3-1 ball game. Palm Beach Atlantic leading University of Tampa. Jack Ike, Taylor Stolworthy, bringing you all the action from a cloud-free Tampa skyline. That is downtown Tampa. You can see behind the stadium outfield wall. Straight center field, there's new construction going on. That looks like 25-story building going on up there.
Don't know what it'll be used for. Maybe another apartment place. Could be a hotspot for Tampa students, kind of like the Henry, which is, I believe, down behind left field.
Okay.
Right next to the Strass Center.
So it looks. So your thinking is there's most of these high rises are more living places than office spaces.
Some of them, I think, because I know there is one that's a set of apartments that is usually a favorite spot for off-campus Tampa students to go.
And what you can't see by looking across is there's a river, the Hillsborough River, separates the campus from those downtown buildings. The Hillsborough River almost gained infamy when Tampa won the Super Bowl, and they had the Super Bowl parade, and Tom Brady threw the Super Bowl trophy from one boat to another, and Rob Gronkowski had to make another great catch to save it from going into the Hillsborough River.
If it had fallen into the river, I reckon it would have caused a curse for the Bucks.
Yeah. Hey, they haven't won since.
True, but it's only been about 3 years.
Yeah. Not 80 or anything like that.
Or about 30 or 40.
Yeah.
That's how long the curse of the Colonel lasted. I'll tell you more about that in the fourth
Curse
inning.
of the Colonel?
Yes. And by Colonel, Colonel Sanders.
Oh, was that The Kentucky Colonels? ABA? No.
Nope.
No? Okay. I was watching an ABA documentary, and they were talking about Colonel Sanders.
The team that fell victim to the curse was in Japan.
Oh, okay. There was the curse of the Bambino when they traded him from Boston to the Yankees. There was the Billy Goat curse at Wrigley Field.
Over 100 years of no titles. At that point, that's got to be a real curse because, like, how do you go 100 as a prestigious team like the Cubs?
I know. Team that has a lot of potential payroll money. There's a fly out. Coming to the plate now is Finley Holmes. (3-1), Tampa trailing. First pitch to Holmes, nice off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. Ground ball. Martinez shovels it across in time, 2 down. Martinez, a junior from Tampa, went to, as you said, HCC, also Jesuit High School. And it brings Ian Pennington to the plate. Holds off and gets a call of a ball. Looked good, but a little bit low. Tap foul. Two and two with 2 outs. And just missing outside. Glanton kind of looking like, you sure you want to stick with that call? Shot. They had him played well. Woodburn, Carlson, inning over. They put 3 on the first base side of the infield, and Woodburn was waiting right for that one on a 1-hopper. We have now played 2.5, still 3-1, Tampa trailing Palm Beach Atlantic. We'll be right back. Bottom of the third, Spartans coming to bat. Will send up 9-1-2, Luke Fiker, Jordan Evans, Braden Woodburn. You know, it's nice to have a guy like Fiker batting ninth, come as a .308 batting average. Getting a lot more playing time these days.
Yeah, he's kind of graduated from just being more of a defensive sub into kind of one of the rotational guys in the Spartans order. And, of course, being one of the high-leverage relievers.
Yes. Got an energetic fan sitting just below us. I think you can hear that. Swing. Right into the mitt, though. Finley Holmes came in a few steps, caught it on the run. So Fiker goes down on one pitch. Top of the order, Jordan Evans.
Langfelder started his career at PBA in his junior year. Kind of a big part of the rotation, 14 appearances, 12 starts. Last year, more flexible out of the bullpen. This year, after a bit of a delayed start, he's been purely one of the better starters with 3 innings, 4 2/3, and he'll be hoping for a deeper one today. But it'll be up to Tampa to try to take the wheels off the bus in similar ways they've done against Smoot in Game 1 of the weekend. And then earlier today, they did the same.
Swing and a miss.
Against Budiak.
Well, we're not that far into this game, but the one thing we've seen so far is Langfelder has thrown strikes, made him hit, not given up free bases, does have a walk, 2 Ks. His fielders have been strong behind him.
Coach Bonfield will be happy to see that out of the team after the rough day yesterday on defense.
Whoa, just getting out of the way. Now you can see the grandstand shadow is touching the umpire and catcher. Before the inning's over, it'll be probably engulfing the batter's box. Ball outside. Three and two pitch coming up. Langfelder with a look. Gets a grip. Winds and fires. Ground ball. And foul.
I think that should have been fair. It was really close to the bouncing by the bag.
Yeah.
That was pretty much just about a foot or so to the right of where the bases clearing double went.
Yep.
Just a quick skip down the line. That was one of the ways it was either Glinton or a different Spartan pitcher had given up a few runs in a previous game.
3-2 again. Ball. That's a fair ball that time. That's going to be at least 2 bags. Cruising into second will go Jordan Evans, and he looks to go to third, but now comes back. Took a while for Rakes to get the ball out of his mitt in the corner. So the Spartans have a man on second with 1 out.
That's one of those ball doesn't lie type of plays, you know. You get the rough call earlier, just foul. It replicated exact same pitch,
I
and this time it's fair.
This one foul.
That one stayed fair all the way to the wall.
Yep.
If you can get it to that corner, it's so tough to field. Soda will tell you firsthand.
Woodburn struck out looking, which is rare. His first at bat. Slow curve comes inside. Strike call.
Entering today, 25 free bases for Woodburn on the season to just 11 strikeouts.
That's got to be one of the tops in terms of walks.
Carlson's got him comfortably beat, though. Carlson entered with 28.
Tap foul.
Back in Game 1, Woodburn did not get a free base, but he did have the 2 hits and home run. Carlson picked up his 29th walk of the year.
0-2 now. Woodburn waits. Down the line, foul, right field line. Oh, 2 again. Low in the dirt. Bounces away, but not too far. Runner stays.
That high walk rate for Woodburn has given him a .518 on base percentage this season. Out of the qualified Spartan batters, Carlson leads, Woodburn second, Soto's third.
And that's going to get down for a hit. Does Joe send him? He is. We're going to have a play at the plate. I think he's going to beat it out. He does, standing. And it's a 3-2 game on a Braden Woodburn RBI single. Heads up move. Joe Urso watching the fielding of that play all the way, and at the split-second decision to send Evans home.
I think it helps to have Evans running there on the base path. He's one of the faster Spartan players. If it was someone like maybe Javi Soto or Jake Brooks, probably holds him up. But he trusts Evans in the wheels he's got. Wasn't as strong of the wheels as our super speedy guy last year.
He was the automatic double. I don't. You'll have to bring his name up again.
Yeah, I feel weird for blanking out because we've called so many steals and stuff.
I know. We called him the automatic. That's because we
called him the automatic double too often.
Said it was the automatic double.
But yeah, that was Jordan Williams, number 19.
Right. And I know he's had a team record for steals in his season, and was very close to the NCAA record for steals in his season if he didn't get it.
If it was Williams on the base path, he'd probably be at third already on this 0-1 count.
Yeah. Yeah, if he got to first, he'd be at second before the next batter was done batting. Might even be at third.
Yeah, he's the type of player you don't try to do those pickoff throws to. It's not going to work.
No.
He's just going to turn and jump like Evans will and be safe.
There goes the runner. They threw the pickoff, but the throw is wide and in safely. Nice play by Woodburn. He's up there now with 13 steals on the season.
Got to feel good for Woodburn to get back in the steal category. He got caught twice last weekend against Davenport. 0 for 2 in steals against them. Was 12 for 13 entering that weekend.
He is now the tying run with 1 out. Strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gunnett Carlson. Grounded first to pitcher his first time up. Pokes one through the infield. We may have a tie game. Ball outside. Ball outside. From 1-2 to 3-2.
You don't want a 3-2 count against Carlson. He is one of the best players in the nation at really being able to deliver those clutch walks. He does have a team lead in strikeouts in 21, but he's also almost got double the advantage to the second place in walks.
And he calls timeout.
He's had some good hits. He's had 8 extra bases on the season on 26 of them. But the dude is just an on-base menace for opponents. He hasn't even gotten hit by a pitch.
Huh.
He's gone on base for free 28 times, and they've all been on ball 4.
Steps back in, 3-2 count. Swing and a miss, though. And he goes down swinging for the second out. He did throw it down the middle. Irigoyen now to the plate. Irigoyen walked and scored in the second That's a ball low.
Irigoyen's been on base for free 16 times now this season, 14 walks. He's only struck out thrice all year long. And, he's been an everyday catcher except for 2 DH appearances here.
Ball hit out into right field, giving chase near the line, and finally catching it. It'll be a foul ball out, but it ends the inning. Spartans do pick up a run and have cut the lead to 3-2. We have played 3 full. Palm Beach Atlantic 3, Tampa Spartans 2. We'll be right back. We head to the 4th inning of a 3-2 baseball game, and I'm going to put the pressure on Taylor Stolworthy and say, get us a lead.
I'll do my best. Glanton will open up against Rakes, Jacobs, and Shield. But as we start, mentioned an inning ago, we're talking about some curses, and this is the curse of the Colonel. It afflicted the Hanshin Tigers starting in the late 80s. So it all started thanks to Randy Bass. He was a guy that
Milwaukee Brewer player.
Yep, never really broke into the majors, unfortunately. There's out number 1, Woodburn to Carlson. Super easy first pitch. But notably, once he went to Japan, he turned into Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth. Any adjective you want to call for like a super good power hitter, that is what he did with the Tigers. He was a monster at the plate and helped rally them to a Japan Series title. In the streets of Osaka, there are some pretty big celebrations after they won the title. And what fans did was, with the river that went through Osaka, which is actually why I brought up the curse of the Colonel, because it afflicted a river, same way we almost had the Super Bowl trophy fall in, they were trying to find lookalikes of the players that were fans to toss into the river. All in good fun. I don't think anyone realistically got hurt. Hopefully not. But they were having trouble finding a person like Randy Bass.
Just find a fish.
Yeah.
A bass. Name it Randy.
So what they did was they went to a local KFC. As there's a big swing and a miss, and it's going to be a 3rd strikeout for Glenn for out number 2. They found a statue of Colonel Sanders, which is the closest thing they could find for a lookalike for Randy Bass.
Really?
They took it from the store and dumped it into the river.
Okay.
And ever since they had done that, they'd gone on a 30-plus year drought of not making it and winning the Japan Series. That drought was finally broken in 2023 when they made it back and defeated the Oryx Buffaloes in the Japan Series, allowing Hanshin Tiger fans to finally celebrate by eating some KFC.
Now, knowing what you know, does Randy Bass look like Colonel Sanders?
No, but at the same time, on a very active partying night in Osaka, Colonel Sanders would have been the closest lookalike compared to the residents there.
Some blurred vision?
For the most part. Especially if you think about how many fans would be drunk.
Yeah.
Naturally. You see a city like Tampa, a city like Chicago. You also imagine there's a lot of that when celebrating, too.
Wow.
As the count goes 2-1 the Shield, 2 away. Will this be number 3 as it's lined into the gap? No. Yes. Great catch by Brooks on the run. And Glanton makes it a 1-2-3 frame. Thankfully, there's no such curse for the Spartans in terms of fan celebrations. And there's no need to celebrate yet. We're trailing 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. And we're quickly back to the plate. So here we go for a brand new inning. It is the bottom of the fourth here at the University of Tampa. Taylor Storley and Jack Ike bringing you the weekend's action. First broadcast we've had all year together. We've
Just had
been split
scheduling
up,
situations.
but we're ready to go for Jake Books to kick off the bottom of the fourth.
You know, I would say something when you weren't here, and I would turn, and there would be no rebuttal.
Same here.
There was no witty repartee.
But now there is.
Yes.
So got to be careful. Looking at the Fred E. Pollock scoreboard, 3 runs on 4 hits for the Sailfish, 2 runs on 3 hits for the Spartans. Fouled by Books for strike 1. 51 pitches now for Langfelder. Good news for Palm Beach. They've been able to rest their high-leverage bullpen arms all weekend long, so they can kind of break glass in case of emergency and bring them in the game here to try to preserve the lead if they get into trouble. But they would like Langfelder to go at least 5 as the count goes 0-2. Good dot on the outside corner by Langfelder. No balls, 2 strikes. Hit sharply to second, picked up on a diving grab, throws in time. One away to bring up Javi Soto. Only 1 leadoff base runner has got on for the Spartans, that being Irigoyen with his walk in the second, and he had gone to score. Soto grounded out back in that second. It was productive. He advanced Irigoyen to third, and ultimately that allowed him to come home on a double a bit later. Flared foul by Soto. Looking ahead for Palm Beach Atlantic, they will begin the month of April with a trip, or they will begin their next week on a trip down the Lynn on Tuesday. They then host Nova Southeastern next weekend. They then host Barrie and then travel to Eckerd for a 3-game set. Hit sharply to third. 1 weird hop, but it is picked up. 2 down. 2 quick outs for Langfelder, replicating what Clanton did in the previous frame. And that'll bring up Nick Pereira with 2 away. Tampa's next game, as Jack has mentioned, is against Warner. It'll be a Monday night matchup, country night here at UTampa's ballpark. It ends the lengthy homestand we've had since last weekend, as Tampa then will go on to Daytona to take on the Eagles in a 3-game set. Then we host Florida Southern the next weekend to start the month of April. The classic SSC rivalry as the count goes 0-1 to Pereira. Yeah, you know, if you're Palm Beach, you've got Jared Murray, Dane Hall, Jack Mischke, and Chip Hornstra. All those higher leverage guys ready out of the bullpen. But we'll see how deep Langfelder can go in the meantime. 1-1. Hits the corner for strike 2. Pereira worked the count full for his double in his previous at-bat, which plated Irigoyen from second. 2 out of the 3 hits for the Spartans have been for extra bases. Just a little low on that slider. That one a little bit sharper compared to some of the other big breaking balls he's had. A very good motion with that kind of sweeper-slider mix. Will he go back to it with a 2-2 count? Fastball hits a straightaway center. And that is caught on the run by Parent.
Nice job.
This time he looked over his left shoulder, with the correct shoulder, which actually was his right shoulder. Wait, no, it was his left shoulder, because I was trying to figure out which way he was going. And he does come up with the ball to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the second time today for the Spartans. This time they can't cut into the deficit, which remains at 1 onto the top of the 5th. So here we go in the top of the fifth, continuing a beautiful day at Tampa, and likely an exciting day over at what once was called Emily Arena.
What is it now?
It's, again, I got to keep Googling it
I know.
because it's a weird kind of name. It's Benchmark International Arena.
Yeah.
But it's had some action with NCAA basketball. Today, Michigan and Michigan State have won their matchups.
Okay, Big Ten
advancing
moves
on.
Sweet 16.
I think the changes with NIL and the transfer portal have definitely made things more chalky across the board for March and March Madness.
Something has to change.
But I think the big thing as well is that we've gotten better at grading teams and rating teams. We used to have more primitive systems for determining how good teams are, but now with things like KenPom being more normalized, we've gotten better at knowing just who's actually the good teams, where maybe a 10 seed was actually ranked correctly at like 7 or 8. Chantres fouls this one away, and he's quickly in the 0-2 hole. But he has the hit of the game, the bases clearing double, which slipped by Fikar down the line. Almost goes down looking. That's ball one. Since that double, though, Glenn has had 7 straight outs, not giving up a base runner. By 7, I mean 8. Make it 9. Strike 3.
It's his 4th K.
It could just be that one umpire hit that tells the story
That
of the
hurt.
day-to-day for
Yeah.
the Spartans,
Yep.
which would be unfortunate. Question is, does Woodburn turn one out if it doesn't go to the umpire and he can get to it? Because that's not a guarantee on that play.
No, but the way he hit it, it would have been a tailor-made double play. And they did get one out off the glance from the umpire. But after all was said and done, everybody was safe.
So it's a 1-0 to Malik. 1-1 to Malik. The two-way man, exclusively at the plate this season, entered the day 1 for 10. But he will improve upon that tally as it bounces off the glove of Woodburn, and he loses track of the ball after a couple of weird hops. So it'll be a single unless they grade that as an error.
I would call it a single. That'd be a tough throw. To get any pace on that?
It was a straightaway down the middle grounder, and those are always the tough ones to get to unless you're playing an aggressive
well
shift.
On the third base side of second base by the time he got, they call it a single. He was in the outfield grass, heading away from first base, and even if he'd have made the throw, he would have got nothing on it.
So 1 out, 1 on, and now they square up for the bunt to just try to play the odds. Glenn gets out number 2.
Not quite sharp enough to get the throw to second. Runner was moving quickly.
Unless you're playing softball, I also think it's probably just a better idea. Take the out at first most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, a sack bunt
Why
is a
risk
team,
it?
especially in a 1-out situation. They're giving you a free out.
Yeah.
With no outs, okay, maybe you're looking at a slower base runner. You try to turn it, but worst case scenario, you didn't get 2 base runners for the price of none.
If it was sharply hit and you're still on the mound when you get it.
And that's why the 1-out bunts are risky. Evans, as long as he makes the catch, which he does, immediately ends the inning right after. So a good at bat there for Parent to bunt the runner over, but it leaves that runner in scoring position after a first pitch flyout with 2 away. We've played 4.5, and Palm Beach hold on to that 3-2 lead. But that 1-run lead is still up for grabs. Plenty of time for the Spartans offense to recover, and Langfeller is going to have to get right back to work as we continue. And here we go with a brand new inning. Bottom of the fifth, Tampa trying to convert. Martinez, Fikar, and Evans 2 up. The trio 1 for 4 today. And that was from the Evans double in the third. It'll be Martinez getting us started. He had picked up an injury during the first homestand of the season, with an awkward collision at home plate that also injured the catcher, so both players going down at the same time. But ever since returning to the lineup, Martinez is a mainstay on that left side of the infield. First pitch from Langfelder. Ball 1. Him, Ponce, and Fikar rotating around that left side of the infield. Swing and a miss, 1-1. And all of them have been pretty good at defense this season, from Fikar's sidearm throws, Martinez's quick grabs, and Ponce doing the same. Hit up and foul. It'll be 1-2. Langfelder on just 63 pitches now. He's been very efficient out on the mound. Could go pretty deep depending on how Tampa gets to him during this third trip through the order. That's always where you start to see better turnaround from offenses once they see someone stuff for a third time. And especially at the college level where you probably have only 3 or so developed pitches, makes it even easier. Except when they're nasty. Swing and a miss. Nice fastball low. That'll be a third strikeout. Fourth strikeout out of Langfelder. Second time he's retired Martinez via strikeout. That'll bring up Luke Fikar. Flew out on the first pitch of the third inning. Bases are empty.
No, Langfelder's done a good job of keeping people off base. He's only 65 pitches, and we're in the 6th.
That'll be number
5.
That'll be number 66. That one dropping low for ball 1. And this one will be the 6-7 pitch.
So he's under 15 an inning, right around 12.
Quick pace of play. Fouled away, make it 1-1. Big thing for Fikar, I think, will be him wanting a longer at bat, where if he can't get the out or get on base, he doesn't give himself an easy out. Because you don't want Langfelder to quickly have a quick inning, just like Glinton recently did. You want to tire him out a bit, see if you can force someone new out of the bullpen.
And you want him to work out of some precarious situations, too. Put a little stress on the mind.
Langfelder has seen people in scoring position before, but only in those second and third innings. He's retired 6 straight batters. Hit sharply to short. Fikar will try to beat this out, but he is out by a step.
Close.
2 down for Jordan Evans, and this will begin a third trip through the Spartan order. Good weekend so far for Evans. Went yard earlier today. Woodburn then followed it up with back-to-back jacks. And he also is 1 for 2 with a double. Evans also has been pretty active on the base path so far this weekend. Entered with his 13th stolen base of the season today as a miss inside ball 1. And also earlier, he was able to jump on a pickoff attempt and reach safely. The shortstop wasn't expecting him to turn and run, so Evans reached before they could muster a throw to second. He'll take that one down low. So after a slider, chasing him away from the plate inside, this one falling away from the plate outside, it's 2-0 to Evans. Temperature at game time was 79 degrees. Notably, humidity dropped from 45 to 33% over the course of the two start times.
This is great weather.
It is beautiful for baseball, I'd say.
I think it might have been in the 50s this morning.
It's not too cold and not too hot.
It's when we get into the summer and it's a high of 95, low of 90.
Those are the rough days as the count will go 3-0 to Evans.
Last year, for the Tampa area. We set a record for the highest low temperature of the ever.
Oof.
It got down to 86 at night one time, and they've never had it be that hot for the low temperature of the day. I had to say that like 5 times to my sister back in Wisconsin, the highest low temperature ever recorded.
The low high.
She goes, the what?
3-1 to Evans. Evans to straightaway center. That one's got a chance, and it's gone. See ya. All tied up at the birdcage.
I think that one used every inch of the ballpark because it was darn close to straightaway center. Parent gave chase but ran out of room.
That one fell over 400 feet that time, and you could tell that it was clearly over the fence because Parent didn't try to make a leaping grab.
He didn't go up for it.
If it was up for grabs, he would have tried to jump.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, he watches it just land over his head.
So they have taken the lead away.
And that'll help Glanton now officially with a no decision, potentially.
Woodburn can replicate the first game.
He won't do that exactly. He'll take strike one.
Took first pitch, yeah. we'll take the at-bat.
Would be the third homer for the weekend if Woodburn does. Instead, he'll just chop that one to third, throw across the diamonds in time, and it will end the inning for Langfelder. But Tampa has already clawed back from the 3-0 deficit, scoring in the second, third, and fifth to make it a 3-3 game. Still plenty of baseball to go, and for the first time, we'll have a pretty even fight to the finish this weekend. Can Tampa avoid 2 straight weekend series losses? Or season series ending losses? I'll rephrase that better when we come back in the top of the 6th. Warm-up complete. John Luke Glanton ready to go. Mentioned at the end of the previous inning, Tampa is looking to avoid 2 straight losses in the final games of series. They won the series against Davenport, but they lost the final game on the singular Sunday matchup, as that's a swing and a tip, strike one. The previous weekend, on the road trip to Georgia Southwestern, they dropped the series and dropped the Sunday matchup 2-1. Maybe it's Sundays that are kryptonite for the Spartans. 0-2, Glanton getting a big chase out of Holmes on the slider. Holmes 0 for 2 so far today. Yesterday, went 1 for 4. He's 0 for 6 combined on the Saturday games. And it'll be 1 for 11 on the weekend. Swing and a miss. 5th strikeout for Glanton. Outside of that bases clearing double, Glanton's really been able to keep the damage to a minimum. He's been able to muster a deep outing. He's looking for a quality start, which he will get if he completes this inning. The senior out of Metter, Georgia, trying to do just that. It's been a mixed bag of results for Glanton to start the season. His first 3 outings going just 4, 4 2/3, and 4 1/3, respectively, partially due to pretty comfortable scorelines in both those games. 3-1 win and a close one against Georgia College, 9-1 win against Montevallo, 19-8 win against Post. Swing and a miss to make it 1-1. He then followed it up with a shaky outing against St. Leo. And a 16-6 Spartans win. He got chased out of the first inning, as that will be ball 2. Sammy Beer, Luke Fiker, and Oscar Hernandez close the door out of the bullpen. Beer going 4 1/3 with just 1 run in that game. Ball 3. Since then, he's been able to avoid those big damage outings. He did give up 4 runs in an 11-6 win against Lynn. He gave up 2 runs in that loss to Georgia Southwestern, his lone L of the season. That one chopped foul 3-2 now. And then last time out, had 1 run surrendered, striking out 6 against Davenport. Sammy Beer is the type of guy you'd expect to come in here. This is the exact high leverage situation you trust him for. That one with the shift right to Woodburn, 2 down. But Coach Urso mentioned that Beer is still going to be sidelined. He was sidelined last weekend for fatigue, and sadly it doesn't look like things have gone better for him. Beer seems to be in good spirits. I was able to catch him eating a wrap before the game today. Looks good. I know one of the coaches was visibly surprised to see Beer having that snack pregame, but you know what? Nourishment is important, as that'll be ball 1. Fiker hasn't pitched this weekend, so we could see him shift from third base to the mound later. Tobin Moran was also mentioned specifically by Coach Urso, so maybe he will be the guy to relieve Glanton. Whether it's after inning 6 or 7, we'll have to see. 2 down and the 1-1 count to Patrick Rakes. On the corner, strike 2. One more strike, and Glanton will have a quality start. Would be his second of the season. And here comes the shift. Without the chance to bunt it down the third base line, that one's going to drop low, 2-2. Take a look at the Spartan shift. Everyone's on that right side of the infield. Just down low, 2-seamer breaking late. Brings the count full for Rakes. Pitch count might be closer to 80 now for Glanton. Entered the inning on 65. This will be number 80, and it's ball 4. So a 2-out base runner now for Palm Beach Atlantic. Just the second walk of the day out of John Luke Glanton. And that will see some activity over in the Spartan bullpen. At least some movement around the dugout. But Glanton doing a good job in this frame. 80 pitches thrown, trying to end the 6th. Strike 1 low outside with a fastball.
Yeah, there is somebody throwing in the Spartan bullpen, though. A couple years ago when they redid this into a turf field, they hid the bullpen from people.
Smart move.
And I could just see a ball being tossed back and forth.
Lined into left center field. Soto will get there as the runner goes to third. He'll just take the throw to second to keep the runners at the corners.
So a little action going on with 2 outs here.
And that might send Sam Militello out as a bit of a refocus meeting on the mound. But Urso's also taking a step out of the dugout to see if that warm-up is ready. Wonder if Uruguayan might do a little meeting the time waste. But all eyes are on Urso in the dugout. All eyes are on Glanton on the mound. No eyes are at the first baseline, where the first base coach is
Sam
heading back. And indeed, Sam is going to chat things over with Glanton. I think here they will give Glanton the chance to get the final out of the inning. If it's a walk, then the question is, do you go to the bullpen or give him a chance the bases loaded? If it's the lead surrendered, that's when they'd bring in the high leverage guy. So that'll be the 4th hit of the game for Palm Beach. Scratch that, reverse it. 5th hit of the game for Palm Beach. Scratch that, reverse it. 6th hit of the game for Palm Beach. They don't have 7.
I can't
Not
scratch
yet.
out any more stuff here.
Yeah. I'm running out of room to scratch things out. Shield had a hit back in the 2nd. He scored on that bases clearing RBI double by Chartres. He is awaiting on deck. He's already got the catcher gear on. At least on his legs.
But Palm Beach Atlantic has doubled its hit total from the first game, so when they failed to score.
And just like on Friday night, they've put 3 on the board. But this time they don't do it, down by 9.
But they were down 10-zip yesterday.
Right. They're down 9-0. They then put up 3. Tampa then, actually, no, it was 10-0. You're right. It's close to those same score lines, like earlier today. First pitch hit to deep right field. Brooks will track back, but he should be able to get at the warning track. And it's a great escape for John-Luke Linton. Shield got a good first pitch, but he couldn't convert to give his team the lead. And it is a great escape for John-Luke Linton, preserving the 3-3 level score and etching his second quality start of 2026. Surely that's where the bullpen will enter the play for the Spartans, and we'll see it is going to be returning to the mound, Langfelder for the bottom of the 6th. Tampa has scored in 12 innings this weekend. Palm Beach have scored in 2 innings this weekend.
Okay.
That is a difference for when these teams have been productive. Palm Beach have scored in bunches. 3 runs scored in each of the 2 innings they have brought runners home, but they have been held with zeros
But there's
since.
23 other innings
Yes.
or so, 21 other innings where nothing's happened.
There are at least 3 innings left to go on defense for the Spartans, but they've also got at least potentially 4 on offense starting here in the bottom of the 6th. Carlson, Irigoyen, and Books facing Langfelder for the 3rd time.
Well, it's the first time the Spartans have come to the plate with the game even since it was 0-0.
And it'll be strike 1 to Carlson.
See if they jump on him here.
Got some people with power that could do just that. Irigoyen and Books more notably, but Carlson's got some hidden pop as well. Just outside, 1-1. 76 pitches entering the inning for Langfeld. And Langfelder now on 78. This will be number 79 on a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Less activity in the bullpen for PBA than there had been for Tampa. We were trying to see who it was for the Spartans. It looks like it is Tobin Moran that finished up his warm-up.
Yeah, he came walking out and is now standing next to the bullpen.
And that one will be taken outside, 2-2.
Somebody is still looking like maybe some long tossing. We can see the ball being tossed.
Don't know if they maybe send Fikar over there during the middle inning. He would have a plate appearance if they get to the 9th man in the order. Carlson to left.
There you go.
That is going to drop. Leadoff single for the Spartans. When Tampa had a leadoff base runner back in the 2nd, they scored. This is the 2nd time today they've started with a base runner.
Well, you know what they say about leadoff singles.
And they're going to do a pinch runner. Carlson will be replaced by A.J. Graham. And certainly that's going to move Vanacek off the bench to first place later. Or they'll figure out a way to put Graham in the infield and Woodburn to
Graham's
first.
played shortstop and second. Hasn't he played second as well?
Mm-hmm. So a speedy substitution for the Spartans.
Let's see if he tries to get him to second early in this at-bat.
I would not be surprised if he did. Quick pickoff for that exact reason. Graham is safe.
I think they know exactly what we know.
Graham is 0 for 1 on steals on the year, but he does have solid speed. That's why Coach Urso trusts him in the spot. Another quick turn. Graham is safe again. Tampa wearing their City Connect jerseys today. Didn't mention it yet on the broadcast. The 813s with the nice gradient for the fonts. Langfelder finally fires, and a fastball low and inside for strike one. Irigoyen with a walk and fly out. 0 for 1 on game 2. Another quick turn. Graham is safe again. Looks like we might be switching over to a radio broadcast for a few minutes as we quickly reset the cameras. Some more connectivity issues. Graham with a short lead at first. 0-1 count. He stays put. That one missing low and inside. If he did jump, he would have been safe on that pitch because that was an awkward reception for Chantrell. Couldn't have popped and thrown.
Before he threw that, I was going to say it forces Langfelder to really keep the ball in the zone to keep Graham from running.
So it'll be a 1-1 count now to Irigoyen.
There we go.
There goes Graham, and Irigoyen rips it down the line. The hit and run would have brought Graham home if he didn't slide, but he is going to send him as the ball is relayed to short. Throw to the plate. It is safe. Heading to third is Irigoyen, and the third baseman was off the bag because he picked up the relay. Tampa take the lead in the bottom of the 6th. An RBI double for Irigoyen.
Now, did Graham slide into second? Is that why he didn't
Yes,
find the base?
he slid into second, and that almost cost him from scoring the run.
Yeah.
He quickly got up and hustled. The ball took a weird roll away from Rakes after it went off the wall. That gave him just enough time to round third and reach home plate.
And it was close, but Chantrez did not argue the call.
Yeah, he slid in feet first and just made it in time. Infield now playing very shallow with Irigoyen at third. Strike one. So a great timely hit there by Irigoyen. That is his first RBI of the day today. He's now got 2 on the weekend on what is his 4th hit of the weekend series. Another slider, couldn't go back door, 1-1.
You know, that didn't cost the Spartans, but that hit and run is why Graham slid.
Right.
He thought it was get down and get the base, and it made it much closer at home. He could have scored standing if he just rounded the base, but he didn't know.
Swing and a miss in the dirt. Got Books to go fishing that time around, but instead of getting a Randy Bass, he picks up a Boots. So 1-2 to Jake Books as he steps off. Books, I always like to mention, comes from a national championship winning side, but not out of Tampa, out of Coastal Carolina, the D1 national champions. High and away. 2-2 now. Javi Soto's on deck.
Spartans would have to three-peat for Books to pick up another ring.
Tampa's also currently the favorites in the conference standings to go the distance. Rollins and Eckerd, 2 and 3 on the conference table, as there's a full conference in the infield. This will be the lone pitch mound visit that doesn't lead to a change this inning for PBA. Bonfield just with a check-in on the starter.
He's one of the few coaches who doesn't coach third base during the games.
Tampa always has the reliable Sam Militello. His number is out there in right field retired, the number 22. So reply up blonde for those mound visits. But for other teams, maybe they've got slightly less experienced pitch coaches, and sometimes the managers just like to visit themselves. Experienced guy like Bonfield also makes sense to go out there. He's been at PBA for 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
Down to the dirt, count goes full to Books. And you definitely have the feeling that if he can't win the battle against Books, Langfelder's day will be done. Already now no longer in line for the quality start, although it is another really good outing out of him against the top team in the nation on offense.
Or the win right now.
And he would be in line for the loss.
Yeah.
3-2 to Bucks.
Oh.
And that one goes outside. Chantrell saves a run on that diving catch. That is just the second walk of the game out of Langfelder. And a lot of eyes are now pointed towards PBA's dugout to see if Bontenfield heads back out.
We lean forward, nothing yet.
There's a righty in the bullpen, and Soto's a righty, so no change yet. You're not waiting for a platoon change to bring out the new guy. Langfelder gets another chance. Soto's 0 for 2. Infield now at double play depth as the count goes 1-0. You can tell the Sailfish would trade a run for the double play in this spot.
You probably can't tell it on the TV, but with the way the sun is setting now, the left fielder's shielding his eyes with his mitt once they get ready to pitch.
Down the line and foul.
Wow.
So close.
Yeah.
We're not seeing an active contest from Coach Urso, and he's got the best view out of anyone on the diamond.
Yeah.
So that one was a foul ball, much to the chagrin of the people to our left in the booth. They were hoping that was a fair ball.
It can hit fair before the base, hop over the base, and if it hits foul, it's a foul ball, even if it went over the base. It's where it lands on the hop.
So here's the 1-1. Down to the dirt. Runner stays put off the bounce. 2-1. Brooks isn't the world's fastest runner. It's why we haven't really seen a double steal attempt yet. But it's not a bad idea in this spot because you're probably not going to get a forced throw to second. Brooks is more like a Freddie Freeman type of base stealer. He uses good deception to run. He's got 3 steals on the year, but he's not going to be setting the speed timing records.
There he goes.
There he goes for the double steal on a hit and run. 2-2. Still no outs in the inning is a very important note. There's sometimes more pressure to get that runner moving if there's 1 out. You don't want a double play to end the frame.
Right.
But a double play brings home a run in the situation, so it's not the worst outcome in the world. We'll see if Soto swings again. We'll see if Brooks jumps again. He'll stay put. Swing in the dirt. Out number 1. And that will be curtains for Langfelder. He'll end it on a strikeout. So Nick Pereira is a little bit of the wild card for the Spartan side, having very few reps leading into this weekend series. And maybe that's a question mark that Bontenfield doesn't want Langfelder to have to answer. We'll be back with more action on the SSC Digital Network. Bottom of the 6th, Tampa has their first lead of the game. I think we're back, although the ad break in progress screen stayed up a little too long. Now on the mound, it is going to be the number 48, Jack Misk.
And Jack Misk comes in with this will be his 8th appearance of the year, has a 3.75 ERA, 1-0 record so far, has a save, 12 innings pitched, 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, walked 6, struck out 14. Of the 10 hits, 2 have been doubles, and everything else a single to this point.
He's had a good season for the Sailfish. Makes sense as a high leverage arm to get the call right here. He's been with the Sailfish for 3 years as a junior now. He's a big Astros fan, and his favorite athlete, Justin Verlander.
He's a local product. He's from North Palm Beach, Florida.
He mentioned that locale is one of the big reasons why he chose the school. Always good when you can rep your local team.
Yeah. You'll find the Tampa roster dotted with Tampa or Tampa area people.
You do see it with some more Tampa sports, I think. But always good when a Tampa resident comes in and does good for the Spartans, like Maddox King.
Yep. Drew Earhart a couple years ago.
Yep. And not Nick Pereira, although he's out of Palmetto Bay, so same state.
Just a baseball-loaded state.
A.J. Graham, Jake Turr, Robert Satin, Walker Vanacek, Jack Martinez, Gunnar Carlson. Those are just a few that come out of the Tampa area on this year's roster, as the count goes 1-0 to Pereira. So, you know what? I'm wrong. There actually are plenty from Tampa here.
Yeah.
First pitch from Mischke, ball 1 to Pereira. He's looking for a timely hit. Nice curve, overhand, dropping low, 2-0. Mischke has a free base to work with. Misk has a free base to work with. Right on the corner, 2-1. 14 strikeouts to 6 walks, like you mentioned, Jack. Very good K to walk ratio.
Yeah, you want it to be at least 2-1.
His first 2 years, though, he had a 21-7 walk to strikeout ratio, so he's definitely improved upon his command quite a bit.
3-1, yeah.
Runner goes, and that curveball is just going to force a look over to third, but it was strike 2. Clipped the corner, it's 2-2 count. Saw the umpire, Earhart, just point to the right to indicate a strike. Looked a little low, but you know, the strike zone's a 3D object, so it just clipped it on its way down. Pereira also knows that too. That's why he's not contesting the call. 2-2 on the way to the battery mate for Glanton. Swing and a miss. Sinking fastball gets him swinging. 2 down for Martinez. Sac fly would not be enough for Jack Martinez. The local product is going to need a timely hit. He was named the Hillsborough Community College Athlete of the Year. Teammate Luke Fikar, who's on deck, was the team MVP. So 2 of the best out of Hillsborough Community are now Tampa Spartans, 0-1. Off the field, he wants to work in medical device sales.
Okay.
Wonder where that originated from. I got to ask Martinez about that sometime. But for now, he'll fall behind against Misk. Got the call, strike 2. There's been some very active framing by Chantrell, and once again pulls what was one right on the black into the plate. So Martinez in danger of a third strikeout of the game. This time would be against Misk. Hits one on the ground at first. Will be a close play. He is out by a step, and Misk retires the side. But Tampa do not need to fear about stranding 2. With 2 hits, they plate the go-ahead run, and they now hold a 4-3 advantage onto the top of the 7th. And it looks like Urso is going to make that call to the pen. So, call to the bullpen, both here for play-by-play, but on the mound. Tampa will forfeit the DH. Luke Fikar gets set to go, as it'll be Jack Martinez sliding to third. and I believe it'll be A.J. Graham at short. Day done for Glanton.
I'm not sure if that looks like Graham out there at short.
Yeah, it might be Ponce. Yes, it is Ponce. But moreover, also re-entering the game, now with the lead, I got it for you,
Okay.
is Jack Ike.
You did the job. One thing we haven't had out of Tampa this game is a big inning. And they've had them all weekend long. But in this game, they went down 3 after the top of the second, scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, cut it to 3-2, then tied it with a run in the 5th, and take the lead with a run in the 6th. We go to the 7th, and it's 4-3, Tampa by 1. Fiker with that sidearm, almost submarine-style delivery, moves from third base to the mound. We'll try to get you the other position changes. Ground ball, Woodburn. 1 pitch, 1 out. Malik now coming to the plate.
I think I do have some of the quick defensive swaps.
Yeah.
Vanacek's at first. Ponce replaces the DH at short. Fikar obviously third of the mound.
Yep.
Martinez short to third.
Okay. Fouled off, right side.
Cameras are dead again, so it looks like we're on radio for a few minutes,
Radio
Jack.
again. All right. Fiker, sidearm delivery. Outside corner, but called outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Malik so far struck out looking, got a base hit, stranded at second, back in the 5th. Fiker looks down, now winds and fires. 1 hops it to the plate for a ball. Our first nail biter of the weekend. Swing and a miss. Late swinging there and goes down swinging. 2 down.
Luke's really been good for us out of the bullpen, and with Beers sidelined for short term, hopefully, he is a very important guy because now he is the true closer 1 out of our bullpen, because it had been 1A and 1B with him and Beer, but with Beer currently, as I think probably more precautionary than anything, getting some rest, it's going to be onto Fikar's shoulders to get some of these big outs, and he is delivering in the early goings.
And granted, they had a big lead in the first game, but Oscar Hernandez did a nice job on the mound, too, in relief in game 1.
Yeah, game 1 of the day. And then, of course, yesterday, Corey Lyle, when Tampa was in a bit of a jam. 4 straight outs.
Parent looks at that one outside, 1-1. 1-2, I should say. Swing and a miss. Inning is over. Fiker, a quick inning for Tampa. And we will head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Stand up and stretch one last time today. 4-3, Tampa on top. We'll be right back.
10 seconds.
Him and Mo always wear long sleeve though. Like Mo, we joke, you never see him without pants and long sleeve.
Really? Bottom of the 7th we go. Misk back on the mound for the Sailfish. 4-3 Tampa on top. Spartans pushing one across last inning.
Do want to give a quick shout out to Nolan on the broadcast. You know, he's had to deal with some technical difficulties across the board. The cameras always not usually liking to play nice. They'll disconnect. Thankfully, I haven't had too many network issues with that, so.
I haven't heard him swear or throw the computer or anything.
Exactly. Kept a cool head there.
A Tampa soccer standout. So, Nolan, this is how you spent your spring break in Tampa?
Yeah, I stayed here.
Okay.
I was gonna go over to Miami, but it didn't work out.
Okay. Foul ball. Fiker gave up the DH role, now batting as a pitcher. Irigoyen had been in the DH role for Tampa. Fiker had been third base.
Hurts less to lose the DH when you have a player like Fiker who can be a two-way man.
Yes. He's still got 9 strong bats. Man, that weak one might get him a base hit, though. It does. Didn't have to have a strong bat, just had to have strong legs.
Fiker's got that, too. He's a 5-tool player with a little less pop than a true home run hitter, but he can hit the gaps. Last season at Hillsborough Community College, he had some extra base hits. He didn't have any home runs, though. Hit .340.
Brings Jordan Evans to the plate, who homered his last time up. He's showing bunt, gets out of the way. That one goes all the way to the backstop. They tried to hit and run. It does move the runner. And the pitch almost hit Evans.
Good thing that he dodged it, because the bunt was in position where it would have hit off the bunt and not off him.
Yeah.
That would have been a foul for strike 1. And what they were trying to do is get Fiker in motion and do a sacrifice/hit for a bunt type of play. Evans has got the speed to run a lot of those out. Mm-hmm. That's a play we saw Jordan Williams do sometimes last year, and Evans has been able to pull that off once or twice this year too.
And I was assuming they would have him swing away now. Joe Urso said, settle down, get a hit.
Don't blame Evans for being hungry for a home run, but all he needs is to put the ball just past the infield, and it's probably 5-3.
I tell you what, Fiker is easily, when the pitch is thrown, a third of the way to third base. Got about a 15-foot lead right now.
He had 15 steals last year.
Hit out into right field, but foul toward the Sailfish bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that does hit him, though. Does not get out of the way of that one. And that might have hit him on the wrist. He's walking back to the dugout, now stops and holding his wrist. Kind of bent over.
That's the second awkward hit by a pitch that he's had over the last 2 weeks. In game 1 against Davenport, he got hit on the head on Friday and went down for a minute, but he was able to continue on the base path. I checked in with him at the start on Saturday, and he said, he was still reeling a little bit from that hit by pitch, but he was good to continue. He had a good day at the plate, despite then getting plunked again on Saturday.
He does
Just like Braden, he's been hit quite a few times this season. Taking a look for Evans, that's going to be number 10 for hit by pitches.
He did run down to first base with a long glance at Misk.
He's very passionate and competitive out there, so that does not surprise me in the slightest.
Though there's no way Misk is going to plunk a guy in a 4-3 game in the 7th inning intentionally.
Yeah, if it was out of conference and, you really hated the guy, maybe. But it's an in-conference, in-region game with Palm Beach needing a win like this to keep conference hopes alive. So, no, definitely not on purpose. That's
He doesn't waste any time. Right down the middle. Did he call a strike or is he a walk? Not a very emphatic strike 3 call. And, boy, I tell you what, Holmes had to look back. He was 2/3 of the way to the base, and he said, "What did you call?" He said, "You're out." I was waiting for that big, exaggerated strike 3 call. We'll take it regardless. 2 outs. And Ian Pennington to the plate now.
that sidearm motion really gives Fiker just a very nice sinker-slider combo.
Yep.
And he is doing a good job of locating the two-seamer here.
They do not need a pitch clock with him.
Nope, they do not.
It's at 13. He's firing. Swing and a miss. Pennington behind that one. And the inning is over. Quick inning for Fiker, not only in terms of how many pitches he threw, but how much time he takes between pitches. We played 7.5. Tampa leads 7-3, and they will be coming to bat in the bottom of the 8th right after this.
By the way, he's a big fan of Marlon Humphrey, fan of the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Actually, no, Baltimore Orioles. But you'd imagine he's a Ravens fan, too, if he likes Marlon Humphrey, who's a defensive back for them. I know Humphrey's also very active on social media, has a funny Twitter account.
Really?
Yeah.
Ponce, his first at-bat this game, coming in as a replacement, defensive replacement, though played the entire first game. First pitch is a strike. No, it was a ball. It was low. That one's low as well.
He's got a very commanding fastball.
Fouled off. 2 balls, 1 strike. After today, we have a game against Warner. Spartans do Monday, 2 days from today. 6 o'clock first pitch right here. Ball high. Three-one pitch on the way. Outside, he walked him. Spartans will see if they can add to their total. Murray ready. Pitch to Martinez, shows bunt, pulls it back. They throw to first. Fiker on deck.
Like the idea, advance the runner. You've got a 4-run lead, so you don't need a huge inning. You'd like to just try to manufacture one right here.
Yeah. 5's better than 4. Foul back.
And you already saw McCaffrey lay down a really good bunt for that sacrifice squeeze. Different spot, though, for Martinez.
Quick throw. Spartans are on the road next weekend. They're at Embry-Riddle, but then home. Always a big series when Florida Southern comes to town. Friday, 6 o'clock, and then doubleheader Saturday. And that will be April 3rd, 4th, 3rd and 4th. Playing way in, and he bunts it foul. Umpire checking with the catcher. You okay? Did that hit you anywhere? Again, a throw over. One ball, 2 strikes. Murray to Martinez. And he gets him with a call, strike 3. An exasperated look from Martinez. So that'll be the first out of the inning. And Luke Fiker comes to the plate. Fiker waits. Murray delivers. Ball stays high. Ball 1.
He started that big inning with the single back in the 7th. You call it the lucky 7th for a reason.
Singled, scored on a wild pitch. That one's inside, 1-1. Be nice to get one more across. I always feel more confident when you know a grand slam won't tie the game. Down the line, but foul.
I think 5 would be the magic number to give Moran the 9th inning, because he's been waiting by the bullpen.
Yeah,
but
yes.
At this margin, I think you would still want to keep Fiker in for the save. He would be going 3 innings for the automatic distance, and he entered with a 1-run Tampa lead, so he'd be naturally eligible even if Tampa went up by 10.
Again, down the line, foul. Glanton went 6, gave up 3 runs. Spartans have erased that and some. Throw to first. And Murray throws, runner goes, swing and a miss, foul. No, it's drop, 3rd strike, I think. Yes, it is. Well, because there was a runner technically on first. It does not count as a drop third strike, even though the runner was heading for second and got to second.
Yeah, that's a Ponce steal, his third of the season, but because he had been previously at first, you can't try to beat out that throw. Only with 2 outs can you try to do that, I think. And I know that actually from MLB The Show, believe it or not.
Ball inside to Jordan Evans. Dugout shouting a few things to Jordan. Some words of advice. Ground ball heading out towards short. Quick throw. I think he beat it out. It got away anyway. Run scores, and it's going to be 8-3. Again, the throw from McNamara hits in front of the first baseman and went all the way to the screen, the fence behind the dugout. Run scores 8-3. And Evans now on second. So there's that, what I consider the insurance run. Gets you out of the grand slam.
Now, it won't be an RBI for Evans, but it is granted as a Tampa hit. It's their 10th hit of the game.
Yeah, you can assume the runner would have scored from second, which he wouldn't have.
And this would be an unearned run, I believe,
Okay.
with 2 outs.
Chase the runner back, and now a quick mound visit.
Okay.
Braden Woodburn, strikeout, a base hit, ground out, and a base hit. His first hit in the third brought in a run. His second hit in the seventh, he scored a run. So Murray back on the mound, looks in, runner at second, 2 out. Woodburn waits. Woodburn watches it low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Murray in the stretch. That one gets away, and heading to third is Evans standing. And probably a wild pitch. And that was pretty far inside. Yep. So 2 balls, no strikes. Now a runner 90 feet away. Ball outside, 3-0.
What's kind of funny, if I'm Vanacek on deck, actually, no, there's 2 outs. I was thinking maybe squeeze if you're Vanacek if there was only 1 out. Given that you struck out against him last time, see if you could just bring that runner home. But no, you'll probably be swinging away if Woodburn walks.
Woodburn hits one down the line, right field line, giving chase near the wall.
Just foul.
Wow, that had to be by inches.
That one curled, I think, a bit too late for Woodburn because it stayed in range. Holmes lost his hat trying to get it.
Mm-hmm. So that makes it a 3-1 count. Woodburn homered in the first game. Murray in the stretch. Ball, walked him. Runners now on first and third, and Vanacek will come to the plate. And a mound visit and a pitching change coming up. That'll be it for Murray. He'll leave runners at first and third with 2 outs, but we'll see who comes in. Why don't we take a break? We'll catch you up on who's entering the game when we come back right after this. Coming in to pitch for the Sailfish is number 19, A.J. Prendergast, right-handed pitcher, 6'2", 195. He's a redshirt junior from Coral Springs, Florida. Went to Coral Springs Charter School and Flagler College before coming to Palm Beach Atlantic. Stats on the year. This is his 10th appearance of the year, 1-1 record. Has an ERA of 5.51. 10 and third innings pitched, 8 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned, walked 10, struck out 11.
Murray picks up an earned run. He has the team best ERA, now just 4 earned on the season for the Sailfish for Murray. Don't know if that'll count as an earned run or not. Have to see how the stat page ends with it. Because it did score with 2 outs on that errant throw, it might be unearned, but because it did get on base, not via error, it also still might be earned. I'm kind of obsessed with some of those little details, keeping the score myself.
Yeah, I saw you wearing out your eraser.
Exactly.
That was a full eraser, wasn't it, when we
There
started?
is. No.
No? All right.
But I probably killed about half of what was left.
Vanacek finally gets his pitch, and it's a ball. Runners at first and third now. An 8-3 Tampa lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Strike call. And the pitch, runner goes in the dirt. Runner's going to make it into second. That's Woodburn. Runner stays at third. We said this earlier today, not sure if it was going to be held true, but it kind of is now. When Palm Beach Atlantic went up 3-0, we said, keep in mind, you usually need 11 to beat Tampa. And they've kind of done that because they lead 8-3 now. Ball outside. A base hit would make it 10-3.
And last time Tampa was trailing 3-0 against Davenport, they answered with 17 unanswered runs. And today it's 8 unanswered.
Yep. Foul back. So it'll be 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. 8-3 Tampa. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Prendergast fires. High. Ball 4. So Vanacek took a while to bat, but he gets a pass to first, and the bases are loaded. And it'll bring Irigoyen, who started the day as the DH, is finishing the day as the catcher.
It was good.
Started his game anyway as the DH.
It's good of Tampa to change him to catcher with all their changes. Otherwise, they would have lost his bat when they forfeited the DH. So naturally, they actually forfeited the DH when Irigoyen became the catcher instead of Pereira.
First pitch, that is going to be in the gap, and it's going to plate at least 2. All the way to the wall. 2-run score. 3-run, no, they're calling it a ground rule double. I thought it hit the wall and bounced off, but the right fielder, Holmes, signaling that it must have got stuck.
Nah, it bounced off the netting, it looks like, I think.
Went up and hit the warning track and bounced up.
Yeah, clean ground rule double.
Okay.
Definitely a good outcome, though, if you're Irigoyen.
There's that 10th run.
Yep. And that is now 4 RBIs on the day for him on 2 extra base hits. So 6 hits on the weekend. Very productive. He told me he was pumped up this weekend. He told me he had full energy. Took him a little while to wake up today after a hitless game 1. But he has come alive here in game 2.
Get down. And that's going to go to the backstop. And a runner will score. It's 11-3. So may not be like the Davenport series, but 11 now unanswered after trailing by 3.
And the most Tampa can actually unanswered with, if they load the bases, if they score the runner from third, load the bases and grand slam it, they could do 16 unanswered.
Though we could end up with a 10-run rule. Second game of the doubleheader in conference play, 10-run rule applies.
Yeah, all it take would be a McCaffrey big fly ball.
Swing and a miss. $11-3 now. A home run would send him home happy in the bottom of the 8th. And he does hit one. I don't know if it's going to leave. No, it's going to stay in the park. We'll go to the 9th. Tampa, though, picks up a couple more runs, 4. And from a 3-0 deficit to an 11-3 lead, we go to the top of the 9th right here on Tampa's Spartans.tv. Top of the 9th we go, 11-3, Tampa on top. Palm Beach Atlantic, last 3 outs. Over the weekend, now 26 innings. They have had 2 3-run innings. And that's been their scoring. Velazquez in to pitch for Tampa. Josiah Velazquez, a lefty, 5'9", 185 from Fort Myers, Florida. Went to Bishop Verrett High School, Florida Southwest State.
Yeah, for Velasquez, it's just a chance to get back on track. He took the L against Davenport, giving up 3 earned in his third of work. Tampa had a collapse on Sunday against them, giving up 6 in an inning. So it's just a chance for Velasquez to end the weekend on a high note. He's been very good out of the bullpen for the Spartans this season, so good to see him getting some work.
Now, who do you speculate Joe will throw on Monday in the midweek game?
Given that he didn't pitch today, Tobin Moran.
Okay.
But if he hadn't pitched, I've got two ideas.
Okay.
Sammy Beer,
If
even
he's
though he was
available.
resting this weekend,
Yeah.
he could have been available for a spot start for that Monday game, and it's a reason that he's been resting.
Strike 3 call, 2 outs to go.
Or they would have went to probably think about who hasn't pitched. Maybe just more of a bullpen game, actually. It's too hard to tell.
Okay. Popped up, out of play. Now, looking at the Warner website, says they split a doubleheader with St. Thomas ranked 11th in the nation. Two outs now on the strikeout.
That's the Velasquez that had started the season strong on the mound.
So Warner will come in Monday with a 16-14 overall record, 6-6 in their conference.
Tampa will be 22-4 should they get that final out.
Fouled off. Santi Shield at the plate.
Singled in the second, scored on the Chantras hit, flew out twice, most recently with the bases loaded.
Strike. Down to their final strike. Tampa looking to go 9-0 in the conference, 22-4 on the year. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, call, ball game is over, and Shield just quietly goes down. Spartans win it. 11-3 is the final. As we said, they are now 9-0 in conference play, 22-4 on the year. John Luke Glanton picking up the victory. His record now 6-1 on the season. And we will get ready for a game on Monday when Warner comes to town. For Palm Beach Atlantic, they fall to 1-8 in conference play, 9-15 overall on the season. Taylor, any last second thoughts?
Yeah, good stuff from Velasquez. He was one ball away from an immaculate inning. He had 9 strikes, 10 pitches in total. What a good final inning for him.
So the Spartans win it. We will be here Monday. 6 o'clock is game time, non-conference against Warner. So for Taylor Stolworthy, this is Jack Ike saying thanks for joining us. Been watching another Spartan victory right here.